Hello, and we're here with Dan Dynas Jr. with Mr. Dad Bod and the Mr. Dad Bodcast. How's it going?
Doing so far, so good.
Oh, awesome. So we're going to talk about movies today. That's a little different than what Mr. Dad Bod normally talks about, but Dan Dynas is the movie guy.
I like to think so.
Let's talk about movie nuggets.
So I started this years ago. Didn't call it movie nuggets, but working at the theater was my first job when I was 16, which had been like over 20 years ago. And always loved doing movie reviews. And for the longest time, I started my Facebook page was just writing out a big old review on it. And then, of course, years later, now we're into, the realm of videos.
Yes.
And so I started recording, and TikTok, of course, has grown quite a bit. So I just started doing little movie reviews, and I've had a lot of people wanting to know if a movie was good or not, if it was worth a watch. And so that's why I started trying to do more and more of them.
Right,
and,
absolutely. I mean, I don't know if it was around Siskel and Ebert, were they, when you were growing up? Did you?
I know them. Yeah.
Yeah, Siskel and Ebert was a big thing. Like, everybody wanted to go to Siskel and Ebert, and they gave it 2 thumbs up and all that stuff. But they're gone now. There's no really people, or Rotten Tomatoes, I think, is about as far as you get.
And then you see so many, of course, it's critic views. So, you have, people love the movie. The normal crowd will say this is the best movie ever.
Right.
And then Rotten Tomatoes for someone gives it a 10%.
Yeah.
And so you're like, well.
Huge difference between like a normal person going to see the movie and, actually paying attention to what's actually going on in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I like reading both of them, though, to see why they gave it a bad rating or a good rating. And then, of course, sometimes it's the opposite. And I can usually, when I watch that movie, I can see why they pulled it out.
Right.
And yet, of course, still enjoy the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I printed out a little bit of talking points here.
Yeah.
But so do you think movies are getting good again, or are we just being sold some nostalgia?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Isn't it?
It's getting both, honestly. We're getting, there's so many different realms. We're getting, some of them are getting really good. The new Spider-Man was amazing. I loved it. The Odyssey was really good.
Right.
But then some of the horror movies, it's hard because, there's only so many types of stories out there.
Right.
And they're getting overdone so many times. Yet again, Odyssey, as great as it is, I think it's like the 23rd version of that movie that's been made. So you're kind of going with like nostalgia on that.
I'll tell you a funny story. When Odyssey first was getting, they were talking about it. My sister asked me if I heard about it. I was like, yeah, the Odyssey. That was where they're going on this journey, isn't it? The Odyssey and Space Odyssey. And she's like, no, Odysseus. I'm like, oh. Oops.
yeah. Different
totally
Odyssey. Space Odyssey is a good one. 2000.
Yeah, that was a little further back.
Yet again, still a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so many renditions of it. There's they're having a hard time, I think, coming up with new stories.
Yes.
Marvel, of course, Disney is trying to get good movies out there, and I think they're picking up. They're coming out with some good cartoons for kids now. They got away from the whole political aspect of things.
Right.
They're starting to throw a little bit of, the whole woke thing was really bad for a while there.
Yes.
And they've pulled back on that a lot. They still throw stuff in there, which is great. I think that they're doing it the right way.
I like when they hide it in there a little better. Kind of like when they do like a hidden Easter egg, or, something that's, maybe a little dirty for an adult, but, nobody actually pays attention.
Yeah. As long as you're not like the focus of the movie, that's what it's about. I think that's hitting a better category of people. More people are enjoying it. You want inclusivity, which is great, but you don't want to just shove it down everybody's throat is the problem. And I think they're starting to do better at that. Disney is anyways.
Yes.
Marvel.
Netflix is backing off from it a little bit. I think they had a little trouble with the finances. Like, they were losing money, I think, is what was going on.
Their money is picking up too now with movies. A lot of movies are coming out that are really good by them.
Yeah.
The hard part is the theater aspect for me anyways, is they're not pushing theatrical releases. Right. And so they're not making nearly as much as they probably could.
And that is a big one for me that, a while back, before the movie theater got bought, I had looked into buying it, and I was doing research and everything, and they were trying to tell me that, the movie theater scene was done, that, nobody's going to go to the movie anymore. So it's a horrible investment. And I'm like, well, that's not why I go to the movies. I go to the movies for the experience.
Yep, 100%.
It has nothing to do with what's coming out or whatever. It was the whole experience for me. So I'm glad that, they bought the theater and they renovated it. I missed the ticket booth. That was one of the
that was a hard one. That's the nostalgia portion.
Yeah, the nostalgia. The theater that's in our town here in Torrington, Wyoming, was opened in 1950. 1932, I think.
Somewhere around there.
Is when they showed the first movie. So, I mean, it's got some, it's dug deep in
a lot of memory, a lot of history in there.
Yeah. So I'm glad that they were able to buy it and keep it going. And
I worked there when they switched from the reels to the digital. And that was a big shift.
Right.
Of course, beforehand, we would watch movies afterwards to see, just the workers, we could do that.
Right.
And now, of course, the companies can track all of it and see where you're going. So you can't do that no more.
Yeah.
Which isn't as fun, but better display, of course.
You think back to Last Action Hero when they were still tearing ticket stubs, and stuff like that.
I remember doing that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It's absolutely awesome. Just that whole, I mean, it would be awesome if they would just do, like a month of that, like where you had to come and get the ticket stub and go in and see the movie. That would be really cool if theaters would do that.
Think so. Yet again, people really love nostalgia.
Yeah.
I think our generation especially is definitely huge in nostalgia because remember when things were simple, easy, affordable.
Yeah,
and then,
it was a real big treat to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Now, you got all these movies, the Sandalverse, most of the movies just come right to Netflix or Amazon and that's the only place you can see it. It'd be cool to see it on the big screen still.
And I think the problem we have now with big screens is mainly, it's not even cost. It's just, of course, there's always affordability, but it's the type of movie that comes out that you want to see in theaters.
Right.
If it's just like a romance comedy or something like that, you're probably not as inclined to go see it unless maybe it's a date night.
Yeah.
Which, yet again, is kind of hard, gets expensive at that point.
Yeah.
But you want to see the big action movies or the horror movies or the ones that you really got to sit down and focus on. If you can get distracted by things, that's why I think people like the theater, is because that's the point. Yeah. You're going to there to watch a movie, not to play on your phone, not to go do dishes or, run after the kids. It's to be there to focus on one thing.
Treat to get out there and check it out.
Yeah. You don't want to miss out on like a little thing. You're like, oh, I missed that thing going on in the background because I was doing something else.
Yeah.
Now you just ruin the whole story.
Then you have to watch it a couple different times. You're like, I didn't even see that the first time I watched the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about the great remake debate on movies?
It's hard. Yet again, The Odyssey. That's a big one. It's hard because there's, yet again, some nostalgia. There's some of it that you don't want to touch again.
Right.
You don't want, because there's so much love in that movie, such as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Right.
Robin Williams, an icon in the acting world, and I can't imagine if they ever remade that.
Right.
I feel like it would just ruin it.
It would be tough. Like when they remade Point Break, for me, that was literally classic movie.
Yeah.
And then the new one, I mean, they tried to touch on the same basis, but I didn't even like the movie. I didn't think it was good at all.
I think a lot of them, Disney's really good at that too, because they're doing that now with all the live action remakes. Some are really good.
Right.
Some are like Lilo and Stitch, really enjoyed. Little Mermaid thought was pretty good. Aladdin was pretty good. Lion King, decent. But then like the Beauty and the Beast, it was a little bit different for me. It shifted. I actually enjoyed it more than the original.
Right.
Never was a big Beauty and the Beast fan.
I liked the Moana movies, 1 and 2, and then the live action. I was like, I like the movie. I think it's a great movie, but it was literally identical.
I heard that was one I haven't seen. I didn't get a chance yet.
So I don't want to,
But, I've seen the original. I've seen the cartoon.
I mean, it's literally identical. There was no changes at all. Just the same.
It's kind of what you would want.
Live action.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of weird. It was like, man, I would have threw something in there, maybe just
a little different. I did like how like Lilo and Stitch switched things around towards the end.
Right.
It wasn't exactly the same story, but it still made it work.
Right.
It didn't hurt the series whatsoever. Some of the other remakes they talked about, or not even remakes. I guess they're trying to bring back a lot of other older movies. Like I think The Thing was an old movie.
Yeah.
I know is an older movie that they've tried to bring back. Aliens are trying to bring back in TV series.
Ones that Kevin Hart and Hart Productions are going to bring back. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and The Great Outdoors. They're wanting to.
I've heard those. I've heard that.
Yeah, so that's going to be. I don't know how I feel about that because those are some movies that when Christmas time comes around or that's like a nostalgic movie. Like you just. How is it going to be when someone remakes that? It's like, man, is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? And then, oh man, now I don't like that movie because
as long as you're not trying to copy the original movie, like it was something different, like the new Harry Potter series. The original 8, amazing, love them, still watch them to this day. But now that it's going to be a TV series and is going to be like more factual to the books, well, it's TV now, so it's a little bit different too. Right. So I think that's going to do really well. As opposed to if you did like Lord of the Rings. That's one of my favorite ones. to redo that in a whole, I don't think you could.
No,
Not in any way that anybody would care about anymore.
Exactly.
These Harry Potter, you can get more detail in it.
Right.
I get that. So we'll see. I mean, remakes are kind of just all over the place for me because they can be really good as long as they change it. And they don't want to, if they don't want to keep to the source material, they need to make sure that people know this is not the same exact story.
Right.
We're shifting it.
Do you think they're doing remakes because they can't come up with anything new, or are they that it was just so good before that they could not, they just like, maybe I could hit it again,
I think a little bit of both. I think that a lot of them is because they did so well in the beginning that they're like, okay, we can make some money. We know we can make money off of this, so it's just a quick, easy money maker. Sometimes, though, I think it's just because they're running out of ideas, which is wild to me because there are so many good books out there.
Right.
I think a lot of ones, when I find out that it was a book first and then a movie,
right,
then I got to go read the book, which helps the book industry, of course,
right. Absolutely.
And I think that they need to do that more, is just start looking into these books that they have missed out on the past.
And there are
series.
So many people writing books right now, like, not to, throw a plug in here, but I wrote a trilogy called Voodoo Globe.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally, when I was writing the book, I'm thinking to myself, this would be an awesome movie, you know? And it's not gotten a lot of traction because, obviously I'm not a big name writer, and it's on Amazon. You can buy it on Kindle and all that stuff. But I think that it would be an awesome movie. But there again, getting it in front of the right people so they see it and even know about it, it's difficult. I mean, there's a lot of people who probably have excellent movie ideas that they can't even get them in front of people.
I think nowadays one of the best ways, at least how I've done it now with TV shows and different movies, is TikTok and Facebook Reels. Right. I see a quick trailer or a quick something, like a quick scene from that movie, maybe even an older movie. And I'm like, I got to go watch that. I did that with the newest series we talked about earlier, was that Atypical. I had seen a quick little blip on Facebook and I was like, I got to watch that. Now I'm 2 seasons into it and just hooked.
Right.
I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm starting my own book as well. And based off of just what I've read in the past and watched in movies, and I have my own idea. Matrix, of course, is huge. I like the idea of throwing some psychology, philosophy, and kind of that stuff.
Absolutely.
And they need to do that more in these movies to make you think,
right?
To make you be engaged into it, to where, like, if I can go into a movie with my popcorn and soda and drink and watch the whole thing and forget that I even had popcorn,
right?
There you go. That was one of the best movies ever. I forgot that I even had food.
Like, you're just sitting there like, this movie is awesome.
Yeah.
And there are quite a few movies out there that are like that. Like, you just in awe of like how it was directed, how it was written, how it all came together. I mean, it's amazing.
If I want to afterwards go look how they did the movie, that's how you know it was good.
Right.
In my opinion.
Absolutely.
If I want to be like, okay, when this movie comes out, I need to buy it because I need to watch the extra scenes, whatever credits they had on it, some acting points, and everything, how they did it. That's what I think makes a good movie.
Yeah, there's a ton of those out there.
Yeah.
And then another thing that was, so when we were younger, there was a lot of CGI. And now we're getting AI, and which is pretty close related to the CGI. But one of the questions that I had is, like some of these movies that they're doing, how much of it is CGI and how much are the actors actually in the movie?
That's the scary part. They're getting to the point where I know that they're going to have to pay the actors to use any AI.
Right.
I know, or CGI even, like with, I'm drawing a blank on her name from Star Wars. And she passed away.
Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher, thank you. Yep. Carrie Fisher, she was gone, and they had to use CGI to be able to portray her in certain portions. It's like, I don't know how much I like that. I know you have things with like Ian McKellen struggled with in Lord of the Rings with doing some of the scenes that were just pure green screen. It's just him.
Right.
He admitted he broke down and just cried because it's like, that's not what he wants to do.
Right.
And so then you have certain movies such as the new Odyssey, that didn't use any of it. No CGI. It was all 100% real.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind that they were able to do that.
See, and I love movies like that. Like when you're watching, what was the name of that TV show? It was on Disney, where they had the whole town and it was part of the cast. What was the name of that show? Having a brain fart here. Once Upon a Time was what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
watch that.
Like when you're watching them walk and you can see their feet ain't even stepping on anything. You can tell the whole thing is like CGI and AI. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. I know that it costs the big budgets and all that stuff, but when they're on set like in the Odyssey. I went and watched that. I mean, it was awesome. Where they're on set, you can tell that this is real, what they're doing.
Yeah.
And compared to some of these movies, what is it called with the blue people?
Oh, Avatar. I was going to mention that.
I love Avatar. It's a great show, but like
you can tell
these people are not. You can tell that they're wearing outfits. They're not even close to And it is cool to see the computer graphics. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, some of these people are making $50 million a movie, and they're in it a half hour.
Well, and it's wild is the fact that you're now watching these on 4K screens, which they're working on 8K, of course, now.
Yes.
But on as high definition screen, you're going to notice certain things in scenes now where you're like, oh, clearly that was CGI. They had a blip here. They missed it. They didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't happen nowadays, you wouldn't think. And I don't know if, hopefully AI can fix some of those little glitches.
Right.
But I'm also scared of how much it's going to take away from the acting portion of it, like you said.
And that's one of the best parts, for me, is the acting and,
the whole point.
Yeah, the whole point of the movie. And, it's kind of crazy.
It'd be great for, I can imagine AI being good for some of those psychedelic scenes and whatnot, and the stuff that you can't do with real life. There's one movie, for example, that I would really like to see. I could see it maybe remade. It's called Color Out of Space. Nicolas Cage was in it. It's a movie. It's an H.P. Lovecraft little novella that he had done. Very short story. Kind of a monster movie. Of course, H.P. Lovecraft is very, kind of like Stephen King, has some very weird mind games to play with you. And in that movie with AI nowadays, I can only imagine how much better it could be, or even with the higher versions of CGI they have now, how much more intricate it could get and more horrific.
Right.
Because they need to be, especially with H.P. Lovecraft. Right. Would love to see some of his books come out to real life, because they are just for horror movies. Yeah, they're very good, very disturbing, mind you.
Yeah.
But I would like to see some of those.
It would be pretty good scary movies.
Yeah.
But if you remember back when we were younger, look how long it took to get a movie filmed, edited, and then out to the big screen. And today, I mean, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah, not even very long. I'm blown away that, yet again, we're sticking with these main two that I think of, is with Spider-Man and Odyssey. 3 of those characters, at least, were in both of those movies, meaning they're constantly acting.
Yeah, I'm like,
nonstop. How did they have time? They both came out at the same time.
Yeah.
How are you able to do this that fast? And it's because of just technology nowadays. I mean, same thing, too, with how fast the movies come out for you to view at home.
Editing and all that stuff, just like, boom. They're edited through it
from the big screen now to your home within a short period of time. When we were younger, it took 6 months to a year for you to like, hey, I missed it at the theater. I got to wait a year now to go see it
before it would
at home.
Be out on DVD.
And now half the time you're seeing the movie, you could see it when it comes out.
Yeah.
Like, it's in theaters, but it's at home too.
They'll give it a week or 2 weeks at the theater, and then boom, you can play it.
And it makes me sad. Yeah. I don't like it. I want to give me at least a month or two.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, I'm going to go see it in theaters. I can't watch it at home. So it gives me like that fear of missing out. Like, I want to see it in the theater.
Lose a little bit of money with that, because they, in order for them to make some dollars, they have to be able to show it for a certain amount of time. And if they can only play one this week and then next week have to have another one, well, there's no money involved no more.
Well, and then the companies, of course, want their money for them. So theaters really don't make a ton on the movie itself.
It's literally the popcorn and the drinks and the advertisement. Yeah.
Especially like, Disney takes up one of the biggest chunks of it, and they put out good movies, and don't get me wrong, they're great movies. But, I think they take a little bit more than they probably should in those things. If it wasn't for the theater, they wouldn't make nearly as much money.
Absolutely.
So give the theater some more props for pushing that.
Yeah.
It's all marketing. If the theater's going to market like crazy, like some of the new ones that have come out this last year, if, Supergirl did not do that well. I didn't even know it was coming out.
Right.
I love movies. I try to watch trailers as much as I can. I didn't know it was coming out until it was already here.
Right.
So I completely missed it. And now I have to watch it on Vudu.
No advertisements, nothing. And it's just like, boom, there it is.
But then again, you see Spider-Man, like for the past year, has been pushed out.
Right.
The new Doomsday coming out the end of the year.
Yeah, I've seen tons of
that's Disney for you. Yeah. They're going to be doing that like crazy. Sony, of course, is really good at that too.
Right.
But the smaller companies barely let you know.
Here soon we've got Spaceballs, the new one coming.
Oh, beyond excited for Spaceballs!
I'm very excited. After 40 years?
It's been forever
since they did the first one, and they talked about how they were going to do the search for.
And they're alive still, thank God.
Yeah, but with that, so I heard about it, and I started researching about the movie, and I looked it up. I was like, when does filming take place? And it popped up and was like, filming's done. I'm like,
yeah.
Like literally, Mel Brooks just came out and said they were
Hey, we're doing it, and we're done.
Yeah, it's already done, filmed.
It's amazing how fast sometimes they can do them.
Quick. Like, man, I would have never guessed. And another one that's coming out here soon, Violent Night Part 2.
Yeah.
I was totally baffled. I was like, I like the first one. I had no idea they were even making a second one. And then I just, boom, there's a trailer and it's about ready to come out. I'm like,
that's what I like about TikTok now is that's how I'm finding out a lot more movies are coming out faster because it'll release, or, Facebook Reels. They come out and they're like, hey, here's a new trailer for you real quick, or a blip. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Let me go watch the full trailer on IMDb if I can. Yeah. I think that's a lot of excitement needs to be for these movies needs to be put on these quick clips. None of us nowadays have a very big attention span.
Right.
It seems like. And so unless you're going to be putting something out there within 30 seconds to let us know what's going to happen, people aren't going to pay attention.
There's a reason why YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok say if you put anything 3 minutes or longer, you've lost the attention span. The people don't want to see.
And that's why I try on my videos on my TikTok, I try to keep it less than 3 minutes just because I know unless you're really focused or want to know that movie, you're not going to care about it. Within 10 seconds, you're going to just swipe past it.
And you said Internet Movie Database, IMDb. A lot of people don't know about that. That's a place you can go to and you can find out movies that are coming out, everything about the movie, who's in it, the release dates, how much they spent. I mean, they literally break it down all the way through.
I love it because if you have an actor you really enjoy, you can just click on their profile and it's like, hey, here's their discography of all the movies they've ever been in and start watching them.
I use it constantly for like when people post something and say, oh, well, Jim Carrey's going to do this movie. I'll instantly go to Internet Movie Database. And if it's not on his list of movies,
I don't believe it.
You know that it's wrong. You know that's not there. But he has signed on for The Grinch 2.
I heard that.
And the Jetsons live action.
I had a rumor of that, but I didn't know if that was real or not.
So I checked several different places, and it's been confirmed that is going to happen.
That's the hard part about the internet because it's really hard to know what to believe. Right. Because I heard the rumor of like there being a second Nightmare Before Christmas coming out. There was rumor of that.
I heard about
that. Come to find out, there is, but it's a book.
Yeah.
It's going to be about Sally. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's different. Doesn't mean there's not potential. If it does well enough, just like everything else in the world, if it makes enough dough, it'll come out.
And I can't remember. I know that it's coming out soon, but Tim Burton actually has another movie coming out here really soon. I don't know if it's on my list here, but I am trying to remember the name of it.
I remember hearing something about
I may have to look that up because it has Helena Bonham Carter in it. I did see... it is what's it called? Scrooge. That's what it's called.
Oh yeah, Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Johnny Depp
is going to be Scrooge. Yeah, he just announced that at with the big movie fest there.
Yeah, and that'll be I think around Christmas. Once again, didn't hear nothing about it, and
talk about remakes.
Yeah,
that one's been yet again. That one's been done through and through. But I think each one it's such a nostalgic one, but it's so known for remakes, that no one holds it to like which one's your favorite, as opposed to like, no, the original is the best one. It's such an old original.
So what one are we saying is the original?
Right, and I don't even know. I think that's probably the problem.
My favorite, and I don't know if it's the original or not, is Bill Murray, Scrooge.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So I don't know.
My favorite's Muppets.
Oh, the Muppets.
I love the Muppets Scrooge one.
That is a good one.
Anything you could just, that's the one thing you could remake anything into, and I'd be okay. Like Lord of the Rings Muppets. Yes, watch it hands down.
I think they should bring the Muppets back. I love the Muppets. That was always
Gonzo
awesome.
was my favorite.
Well, this is a good one. Actors who play the same person in every movie.
That's tough. Well, so that's the hard part, and I wish that they would change some of them because I feel like Adam Sandler has kind of like, I feel like he has the same humor in all of his stuff, which is why they probably all come to Netflix so fast.
When they broke out with Uncut Gems,
when he shifts,
that threw
love
me for
when they do that.
I loved the movie. I thought he did a good job, and he's got that range. But we don't never see that from Adam Sandler, not hardly ever. I mean, that was a total wow. Where did that come from?
I think of that with Jim Carrey, another comedian, was it Rain on Me?
Yeah.
Bawled my eyes out. Like that's not a range I would have thought because he's so into comedy to see him going to
23 or 27. The movie that he did, it was kind of like a scary movie.
Yeah, I think it's 23.
Yeah,
it's 23. That horror kind of thing. Great, cool. You can act. It's something different. Love it.
Yeah.
It's kind of, Will Ferrell's another one of those ones. I think it's a lot of comedians you see because people want to see them for their comedy. They,
Right.
you know, so it stays the same all the time.
Yeah.
So when they shift to something else, I think his was like Stranger Than Fiction was one that was out of his realm. It's really good.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, you need to do some more of those then because clearly we want to see something else.
Yeah.
I think you're seeing that too now. I know a lot of actors are starting to come out and voice about voice acting with that.
Right.
That they're like, stop hiring all these high-end actors and get the actual voice actors for it.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get numbers out at that point.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Johnny Depp's playing so-and-so?
Yeah.
Great. We want to watch it. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yep.
It's Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
They're going to watch it. It's like, no. I want the substance of the movie. I don't care who's in it necessarily. Don't get me wrong. Love Johnny Depp. Right. You know, Ron Williams, same thing. Would watch everything he has.
Yes.
But I'm not there for that. I want a good story.
Right. I want the storyline. I want the actor to be acting in the movie and doing what, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bringing up Johnny Depp, I just seen a clip the other day where he was talking about why he's not doing the Pirates of the Caribbean. And it was all to do with that court case. They literally...
Because they dumped him for it.
They dumped him for it, but then after everything was all said and done, they want to come back and offer him a bunch of millions
tons of money to do it.
And he said no.
No, he has a soul.
Yeah.
You know, he has reasons for it. Like, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't blame him if he went back for it, even for the money.
Right.
Just because he's so loved for it.
Right.
It has nothing to do with Disney, nothing of that stuff. People, you know, he goes dressed up as Jack Sparrow to the different hospitals and whatnot.
Right.
I think if he went back, he wouldn't be selling out. In my opinion, he wouldn't be selling out if he did go back because he'd be doing it for the fans. Right. It would be for all of us who enjoyed him as Jack Sparrow, as opposed to, of course, Disney getting their way and making their money, which they would, of course.
Absolutely.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing, you know, and it's hard. That's the hard part too, kind of jumping in that realm of questions, is a lot of the different actors who've gone through hard times, you know, they've struggled, they've made some mistakes in their lives, some of them huge. It sucks when they switch that person. Right. You know, they did that with Johnny Depp in Fantastic Beasts. You cut him, and instantly because of that, like, everyone lost their interest. Right. You know, I can't think, Miles Malkovich. That's not it.
John Malkovich.
No, the guy who he replaced him. Oh. I can never remember. His name is more complicated. Anyway, he played Grindelwald in the last one. Okay. But because they switched from Johnny Depp, they completely lost all traction because of it. And they were supposed to have 5 movies out, and they only did 3. Right. And it's like, well, that's because you switched an actor. Yeah. Unless they died, something like that in the first like Harry Potter movies, or some of that's a little different. Right. But like Jonathan Majors, the issues that he had, well, now you have to throw away this whole King storyline. Right. And that sucks because everybody's curious what was going to happen. Right. You know? And the same thing with the other guy from Fantastic Beasts, he played Cadence, the younger guy. He played Flash as well. They had to take him out as Flash because he'd gotten in trouble. Right. And it's hard because you really enjoy those characters. And I'm like, I'm not here. I think
that's totally what happened to the Transformers franchise when they removed Shia LaBeouf because of his incident in crashing his car and him and Megan Fox.
And a lot of stuff is like, that's their personal life. Right. Like, if it affects something else, it's hard because, like, you know, if it's some of the stuff that they had, like with Jonathan Majors, there were some struggles there. Right. That's their personal life. Like, let's keep these out. I'm here for the movie to enjoy that. I don't care what people do in their personal lives in these things. I'm here for a story.
Goes hand in hand with people like, well, this person believes this way and their political beliefs, so I'm not going to watch any of their movies anymore. Yeah. Well, that's horrible. I mean, you're going to just quit watching a movie just because, I mean, the movie is there.
I'm not here for their political beliefs.
Yeah, I'm here for the entertainment, the storyline. The guy who wrote it, directed it, and put it together had nothing to do with any of that. Right. Yeah. And he's going to suffer because this guy believes one way and compared to someone else.
I get it if it's the main company who people have issues with because they've, you know, screwed everybody over or whatever, or did something poor. I get that portion, but when it's like one of the people within it, right, and they didn't know it at the time, or it happened after the fact, especially if it happened after the fact, then you boycott that movie. That's not fair to the director or the producer. Yeah, exactly. You know, they put all this money into it, but because of one of your workers messing up, it screws up the whole movie. I can't remember
the name of the movie, but there was a movie that sat like on a shelf for like 10 years before they made it because of some sort of problem that happened at the time. Mm-hmm. They shelved the movie. And when it finally came out, it's a popular movie. I can't think of it right at the moment, but you could look it up. It was a hit. Everybody loved it. And they had to sit on this movie for 10 years because of some sort of problem, whether it be political or whatever. It's like,
in politics, definitely has gotten way too involved in movies.
You have to wait, and you could have been a millionaire back then because of this movie,
Right.
but you had to wait because of this one issue. You know, it's just
It makes you wonder, though, if it wasn't for that time change, would it have done as well?
right.
You know, some of those movies that have come out, you know, they don't do that well nowadays. But back in the day, they probably would have done amazing.
Yeah,
It's just a
Blazing
different
Saddles
generation.
is just like a whole.
Love Blazing Saddles.
It's a great movie.
Not PC,
Yeah.
you know, definitely.
Yeah,
you know,
but
there's
if
a
you
ton
watched
of those.
that, like if it was
Dogma,
released
you
today,
know.
do you think it would have done as good as it did back then?
No.
No, it would have never even made
No.
it to the theater.
There's too much. Well, it's kind of like Scary Movie 6.
Right.
You know, I still haven't seen it yet. I want to because I love the Scary Movie franchise. Anything that parodies anything.
Yeah.
Weird Al Yankovic, you know, just the best.
Yep.
So any movie that can parody another one and knows that is just fun to watch. It's meant to be stupid.
Great movie. I loved it.
Great.
Yeah.
And yet now you have all these 6 came out and people hated it.
Yeah.
I've read so many bad reviews on it.
Were running it into the ground, not because the movie wasn't good,
right?
Just based on what was in the movie.
It's the time frame. If you took that movie and put it back to like right after 5 came out, if that could have been then, with all the references, of course, people would know about, I think it would have done amazing.
Yeah.
But because nowadays it's a different type of society, different politics, different belief systems, you know, it's not a movie that people probably enjoy.
You know, and
it's a bummer.
Yeah,
it really is. If you like, a lot of comedians talk about that. Like, things are supposed to be funny because they catch you off guard.
Right.
We're not trying to offend you. If you're being offended, then you shouldn't have watched this movie in the first place. The whole point of comedy is to just make you laugh.
Yeah.
Catch you off guard. You weren't expecting, somebody to say a joke, and it comes out. That's why it's funny.
And you see, like,
don't take it serious.
Some of these movies that get them kind of reviews, but then you see like Matt Rice stand up.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, he's downright raunchy and
very poor,
picking on people that are handicapped or this, but people realize that is comedy.
Right.
It's not serious. It's just to make you laugh and to make everybody there laugh.
It's because it catches you off guard.
Right. That's
you don't
the
expect
same
it.
thing with these movies. People aren't doing it like because they're racist or they're not making these movies for that reason. They're making it to make you laugh.
To catch you off guard.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they probably are, South Park's one of those really good ones that's a movie, but they want to make fun of everyone.
South Park and Family Guy. They ran probably the longest out of any show.
And no one's safe. That's the thing about South Park that's so great is no one is safe. They'll make fun of every single person on the planet if they get the chance. Equally. It's just fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah. That's what I appreciate about those for sure.
Exactly. And, like, movies are the same way. People got to step back and think that, like, oh, well, I watch South Park, I laugh. I watch Family Guy, I laugh. The movies are the same way. These people are making these movies for your entertainment. There's nothing hidden behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you're not, you worry about things like you said, Blazing Saddles or Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. does blackface.
Yeah.
And it's like today, that would not go well.
Right.
But maybe, some of us still have a good humor. They're like, we know we're not trying to be racist in this situation. It's the situation. It's the time zone of it. Go with it. But times change. It makes me worry though, that for the future of movies, what are they going to have to start removing because it's upsetting people at this point in time?
Right.
At what point is going to be like, oh, people are kissing on screen now. Yeah. Oh, they can't do that. That's rated R now. I'm worried about what they're going to be shifting to if they start getting too concerned about everyone's feelings.
Exactly.
Like
the movie industry could collapse if they start doing that.
If they do, either that or people need to just really read a review on it, which is what I'm doing. And get an idea of like, is this going to be a movie that's set for me? Is this something that I think would do good for my soul? Is it going to make me laugh? Is it going to make me cry? Am I just going to thoroughly enjoy it? Or am I just going to be mad because it goes against my ideals?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another one here is movies that everybody loves, but you think they suck secretly.
Oh, I don't know. Because there's very few movies that I think actually royally suck other than I can't honestly think of anything. I didn't really care for, there was a new one that I got a little backlash on that I didn't care for. Mortal Kombat 2.
Okay.
I did not care for. I've been a Mortal Kombat fan forever. I've played every one of the Mortal Kombats growing up.
Right.
So when I wanted to watch the movie, they 100% focused on that group.
Right.
The people who have been playing the game for years, they, went into the fatality. They went into the voice, the get over here's, just everything that could maybe bring like that video game into the movie.
Right.
Instead of focusing on a decent story.
Yeah. The story was not very good.
The story didn't make sense.
No.
Compared to the first one, I liked the first one right before it. It was good. Not 100%. I gave it like a 7.
Right.
You know, I definitely watch it again.
Right.
But the next one, like I think it was Baraka, like his teeth were looked like they were glued on.
Yeah.
It did not look good. The costume design was not the best in that sense.
Yeah.
The story just jumped so fast and it was such a choppy little story and quick, like, okay, cool, you guys are in battle and you're all dead and everyone's happy. It's like, wait,
right.
yeah, we expected that, but what just happened? Where was the story to this?
Right.
That one, but I've heard a lot of people thought it was just great.
Right.
Thought it was one of the best movies ever, and that was one I just will never watch again.
Come out here soon.
Yeah, I probably won't watch that one.
I
say that, and I probably will.
Yeah,
but
I'd check it out just to see what they did with it.
I probably hope they changed it,
recuperate a little bit of that,
maybe fix some of it. Some of the old ones, Nightmare Before Christmas. Right. That's a fan favorite. I am not a fan of claymation.
Right.
I just cannot get into the claymation style. Any of those Tim Burton claymation ones, Frankenweenie.
Yeah.
Coraline. That's not claymation.
The storyline
like
is amazing. Could you imagine if they
it's neat concepts.
Did a live action of The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah.
Now that would be kind of
that'd be creepy.
It would be
that'd be super creepy, but I would watch it.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it, but there's just something about it that just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and everybody loves them. I mean, the music,
that's a
the
big
songs.
One.
I mean, that
is
huge out there.
I've seen it dozens of times.
The one
Beauty and the Beast, another one. Never been a fan of Beauty and the Beast.
Nope, me neither.
I like the Emma Watson one.
Yeah,
version more.
That is a good one.
You know,
the next one on here we already touched on. What happened to comedy movies? Obviously, they were shut down because people get offended too easy.
Yeah, now with rom-coms are good.
Right.
Pure comedy movies, though, you're seeing just straight to Netflix.
Right.
Watch them when you're having a good time. We watched the new Kevin Hart. Speaking of, had a new one that came out.
72 Hours. That was
72 Hours. I like that one.
That was a great movie.
That was pretty good. Kevin Hart. Some of his movies are kind of just quick out. Like, hey, we're gonna go make a movie in a month or whatever and throw it out real quick.
Toronto. That threw me for a loop. That one did.
Yeah.
But I watched it, but Woody Harrelson and then Kevin Hart and the whole storyline was just kind of really weird how they paired that together.
Some of them, they're getting made too fast, thrown out there. I think that's one of the problems because they can be made really quickly. They don't need CGI. Yeah. They don't need huge sets. They can be made just on a simple street.
Hard,
you know,
I think was one of them too. With it had John Travolta in it.
Yeah,
that was totally weird. That movie threw me for a loop. I'm thinking to myself, Die Hard, it's going to be like a parody, action.
Right, you would think.
And then you get in there and it's like, man, I did not like that.
You're just using the name to make fun little puns out of it.
Yeah, to get people to go there because you're thinking that it's going to be a great movie.
But then you have one, come out, Medea. The Medea movies are awesome. Yeah. I love them. They're funny, but they're to a certain group of people for sure.
Yeah.
And yet they're very to the heart. They have a good meaning behind them. If you watch them, they have a good they hit home for a lot of people. They have a good heartfelt movie. I guess.
Tyler Perry, I believe it's called Snapped with Taraji P. Henson.
Okay,
that was a great movie. Well written. It was just about every day how people feel like everything went wrong for this lady. Nothing would go right, and she just finally snapped. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. It's something of that nature. But it was a great movie. I love.
He's good at teaching life lessons.
Yeah, I'll say that. That was really awesome. I mean. Tyler Perry, he's, with the Medea and all that stuff, kind of trying to channel the Eddie Murphy and wear all the different costumes. And, and people don't understand how hard that is. Like Eddie Murphy, when he did his Being Eddie on Netflix, was talking about, having an earpiece in and listening to himself talk, trying to do all these different scenes, wearing all the different costumes. Tough. I couldn't even imagine.
Nope.
I think to myself, granted, it probably will never happen, but if I ever got famous enough to where they asked me to be in a movie, I get paranoid. How am I supposed to remember my lines? Right? How am I supposed to remember this?
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, how am I supposed to do that?
I think of that with the voice actors, especially. I'm really bad with names lately. He does Porky Pig, and he does Winnie the Pooh. Bill Cummings.
Bill Cummings. Yep.
I don't know. He doesn't do Porky Pig. But he does Winnie the Pooh and whatnot. He has over 100 voices.
Right.
And he knows them all.
Yeah.
You can remember how to do each one of them.
Seth MacFarlane. Half of the people in Family Guy, he does their voice.
Yeah, it's fun watching him do his like interviews where he just jumps
The
around
table reads
and does the
stuff,
voicing.
yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. And, people like that. And you start to think, you got a lot of this CGI, like we were talking, and you've got this actor here who's playing everybody in the movie, doing all the voices, wrote the thing, and is directing it. And then we've got some movies out here where they have to have CGI for the action scenes.
Yep.
Because they can't even get down off from a ladder because they're afraid, of getting hurt.
That's why I'm really cool about that Markiplier's movie. He made that whole thing. He's the YouTuber originally, and then he made the. I'm really bad at names today. All of a sudden, he made his movie about going into a submarine on a planet. It was based off of a video game, and he had gone into a submarine. The whole thing is just filmed within this like box of a submarine, where he goes into a bloody lake, basically, and that's the whole movie.
Right,
is him looking around trying to find something in this lake. For him to go out there and put all of his own money into it, and for it to just blow up as well as it did,
right,
it's amazing. And I had to go see it. Wasn't really the movie for me, but I had to see what this guy could create and put out there, and I see why he did so well in it, because he put a lot of effort into it. He acted really good in it. Iron Lung. There you go. Popped in my head.
Iron Lung. Yeah.
Iron Lung. Yeah. And he just did such a good job in the acting and kind of getting into the paranoia of things. Some of that method acting is really good.
Right.
I couldn't
Absolutely.
do it.
I like I don't know what their names are, but like when people do like a spoof movie, like they make what they think it should look like, and they want to have a sequel or whatever, so they use their own money. They create these whole trailers for movies that don't even exist,
right?
But they want them to. I mean, some of those are pretty good, like the Thundercats one, the live action Thundercats that they did with Vin Diesel and all that. I was like, now that would be cool. That would be
it sucks because they become so believable. There's some that, yet again, AI, going back to that. Some of those AI trailers that people come up with, I'm like, that has to be a movie. I need to see it. It looks so amazing.
That would be awesome.
Please make it. And it looks superb. And so that's why I'm kind of scared about AI.
The Simpsons movie that they posted with Adam Sandler being I thought it was going to be real, and then I went and looked it up on Internet Movie Database. Nope, it was just a fan.
No, someone did fan. And that's cool. You got fans of movies who are wanting to break out and do their own thing, which makes you wonder how copyright works with some of that stuff. Yeah. Because it's not the same. It's
not 100% the same, but it's, you're teetering right on that. Right. Because you had a little issue with that, with playing some stuff in the background and they didn't like it.
Yep. I had some music that got played because it's just, when you make TikTok videos, you can type in whatever song you want. Yeah. And so I was like, I'll do this one. And then some of them are like, well, nope, that's copyright. Okay.
Yeah. Then
take it down, remove that. Put your own little thing in there. I learned that.
Yeah, absolutely. I on my very first TikTok, when I first started doing all of this stuff, I had probably close to 15,000 followers. And my ladder video that everybody's seen, it went viral. I had like 10 million views. Because I was carrying a case that had a gun in it, someone reported me, and they banned me for having weapons. Is what they considered that. And I was like, that's kind of weird because I've watched videos of people shooting guns. Yeah. I see people target practicing. Them are guns, But then again, in their policy, it says no weapons. But I didn't actually have the gun out. I was just carrying the case. And that
was close enough for you.
Yeah. And the very first original one, weird. I did carry the AR-15.
Sure.
And then when that one got banned, I redid it with just carrying the case. I still got banned again. Yeah, so it just is like crazy having to start over. Like you have a huge fan base, and then you have to keep starting over. It's hard.
That's annoying. Well, and then depending on probably the different platform you're using, TikTok has its own rules. Facebook, YouTube, they all have their own. Yeah. So they might work on one, but not the other. And,
exactly. Yeah. On YouTube, we're at 144,000 subscribers. And, sometimes, depending on the video, if I say something that's political, they shadow ban me. Yeah. And then I get throttled way down, and other videos, hundreds of thousands of views, and this one gets like 6. It's like...
It's hard. Politics has gotten so big. It's
like totally crazy, and trying to, appease everybody, and, I'm just trying to be funny, and we're trying to, like, having a conversation.
Don't take it seriously.
Yeah, trying to have a conversation here today, if we said something wrong, it would be so easy just to say, hey, you know what, you don't do that on the next video.
Right, just warn you real quick instead of like, nope, shut down, take it down, we're done.
Yeah, you're just gone. You
all that work for nothing.
Yeah. If you could erase one movie from history, which one would it be?
Man, that puts me on the spot. I can't think of anything that would just obviously hated that much. I don't think, I couldn't do it. I think that all history needs to be there. There's a reason for the movie, whether I liked it or not.
Right.
Someone did.
Exactly.
Someone's going to like any movie out there, even if it's just a person who made it.
Right.
It had a purpose for it. So I don't think you should delete any movie whatsoever. I can't think of any that The Hills Have Eyes is probably one of the ones, just because there was so much just SM in there. Like,
yeah,
it was too much.
That was probably one that's movie.
Like, it was a little bit too much. Some of that
gruesome
stuff, they go overboard on that.
Yeah.
It definitely pushes the line on like what's really okay, because that's some stuff that I don't think anybody agrees with.
Those were tough movies to watch. The same as
I couldn't watch the second. I never watched the second one.
Were pretty rough,
disturbing. Yet again, they freak you out. Like they'll be there for life because that stuff happens.
So like when you're watching a horror movie, like a scary one, and you're watching it, you know that this is a fake movie,
right?
But when you're watching a movie like that or different stuff, will you stop that? For instance, like a movie like The Day After Tomorrow. To me, now that's a horror movie. Yeah, because that could really happen, and if that really happened, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, you're just out of luck.
That's a
Armageddon.
Yeah, those are movies that I think are scary. Yeah, because the scary, like Leatherface and Jason and all that. That those are created to just scare you.
Yeah, they're monster movies. I mean, there are people who do kill stuff like that. Scream would be one, the original more so.
Yeah,
that would be one that it happens. And that's the scary portion, which is probably why people enjoy it so much.
Right.
Because they can get into a movie so much that they can jump.
Right.
Because it could happen. They're doing that. Someone slams the door in the background or something like that. Their, dog hits something and scares them. It's probably why they enjoy it, because a movie that can make you feel emotion,
right,
whether good or bad, is a good movie. It's a memorable movie, I should say. Yeah.
There's two movies that utterly scared me to death. And I don't know if you've ever seen them or not. One is called Event Horizon.
Yep.
And Lord of Illusions. Those two movies with Scott Bakula was in that one. Those two movies are terrifying. Like, they're not like blood and guts, gore, scary, but the precipice of the movie is scary.
They gotcha.
Yeah, it's like,
I remember The Thing was probably one when I was a kid growing up, the original Thing, when it was black and white, and then they did do color. That one scared me a lot as a kid, just because of the situation. My stepdad knew exactly where the jump scares were, so he got me a few times on it, which was good. That's why I remember it so well.
Right.
That's probably the one that I can think of. The Ring was really good too when that first came out.
Yep.
Or The Grudge.
Yeah.
The Grudge, especially where the sound they do.
Yeah.
Anytime you heard anything like that, a movie that has you remember something later on, like the Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Right.
That song played now is just creepy.
Right.
Anytime I hear it, I'm just like, there's a killer somewhere.
Right. Exactly. That's one that was on here was, what is the best soundtrack to any movie?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is my favorite soundtrack. I can listen to it all the time. Disney, of course. Right. It's hard because Disney movies, of course, you can just listen to the music in the background no matter what. But true composing throughout the movie, whatnot, Lord of the Rings, I think, just has some of the best composition out there.
Right.
They did such a great job. Star Wars, of course, is really good too, and they have their music. Such iconic movies.
One thing, whenever I think of a Adam Sandler movie, like every movie that he's ever in, there's usually some good rock and roll in the movie. Yeah. He always, it seems like it just always pops up in his movies. For some reason, it's just there.
Yeah, I really like when they can throw in, what's the build-up song? Oh, I can't think of it. Not Darude Sandstorm. That's a good one too that they throw in there. But there's some build-up songs that they do quite a bit in a lot of Adam Sandler movies too. Right. But they have anytime they have just that build-up, something's going to happen. Right. Because a movie in a lot of movies, if it wasn't for that soundtrack, you would miss out on so much more emotion to it. That you have the build-up. You have to listen to that music. Yeah. In order to get the fear. You have to listen to that to get any of the love that they're having.
Like when they do award shows and they're talking about, the music and the composing and all that stuff. If you didn't have that, the movie wouldn't be.
Yeah. Well, and especially some of them, like I Can Only Imagine, that's based off of music. It's meant to be about music.
Right.
So those soundtracks are phenomenal.
Yeah.
They just make you tear up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great song. Best movie of all time.
My favorite is What Dreams May Come with or with Robin Williams.
Absolute.
It has a good premise. The book, I found it was a book years ago, and I've read that, and it's such a good thought process and how pretty much everyone in the world could get along. A big problem with the world, of course, is everyone has differing opinions on their beliefs.
Yes.
And that movie has a way of bringing everyone together to a way that all makes sense. It doesn't matter what you believe.
Yeah.
In that thought, it works.
Yeah.
He acts so well. And supposedly that was his favorite movie that he had done too, is what I had read in an interview. And I just recommend it to everybody who has any struggle.
Like that. Like, The Awakening. With Robert De Niro and him.
Patch Adams.
Yeah, I mean, you could just tell that. A lot of people say that, his humor was because he was actually hurting on the inside. I think his humor was he just wanted everybody to feel love. And like, you could tell through his movies, like those movies right there, just those three, huge movies.
Same with Good Will Hunting.
Yep.
He played a therapist in that. And I've watched one of my favorite YouTubers. It's called Cinema Therapy. And they have a psychologist and a director who are just best friends, and they watch movies and they go off of like the movie, they explain what the movie is directing wise, like how they did good on this, with the psychology behind the different people within it, the movie, the actors, all that kind of stuff. And that was one that they made a comment on, and just that therapist there was just one of the best therapists out there.
Right.
And just how much he loved. And so like, that's what I strive for when I get to that point here in hopefully 3 years, is to be able to give movies to people to help them out, say, hey, absolutely. You're struggling with your depression or losing someone. Here's a good movie to watch that can maybe help you get a good sense of how to help.
When we were talking about nostalgia, like for me growing up, movies were a big thing, like just watching movies all the time, watching DVDs. When I first got out on my own and DVDs were a big thing, I would go to Walmart at midnight. Because at 12:01, the new movies came out, and I'd want to buy all the new movies. And as you can see over here, I have tons of movies, and a lot of them are still in the cases because it was just something it's nostalgic to me. Yep. I want to have movies. I want to have them here. If for some reason internet ever goes out or the world ever ends, I can be like Wally and watch some movies because,
I'm struggling with that to this day now, because you're seeing Walmart and Target and all the different places, Best Buy, they're not really getting into movies as much as anymore, physical copies of them. And so we're going to that pure digital age, because I'm the same boat as you. I have totes and totes and totes of just DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that I've collected over the years. Black Friday always spent $200-$300 and bought some movies. Yeah. But now with all the streaming involved, it's so much easier, of course, just to have a quick copy. Hey, I want to watch that movie. I don't have to go dig through it. It's right disc in. Yeah. It's right there. And so I'm really on the fence of how I feel about that, because I have switched to just full digital recently. But because then you can like borrow each other's movies just online. I can borrow your account, whatever. Yeah. And it's simple. Can't do that with Netflix and whatnot anymore, which is fine. Yeah. But that's where I'm kind of like struggling, because on the disc you tend to get a lot more extras, the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, you get
all the extra stuff.
In Vudu, you don't necessarily get all that. You don't get those little things on the discs. Though back in the day, where you would be playing the disc, it wasn't even an extra in the show. It was just an extra on the disc, where like if you pressed right 3 times and then up twice, you get like a little extra little clip that you didn't know about. You'd unlock a little game or something like that on the disc. Like, have you ever seen when you're watching a DVD, it's not the same as what you've seen in the theater. You see a different scene in it. It's like, whoa, that was cool. I didn't know that just a cut scene they actually put on the DVD. It wasn't in the movie. Yeah. But you've seen a different one there. That was kind of nifty how they did that. Yep. I did that with Greatest Showman was like that. I noticed a difference between the copy I have on Vudu and on Disney Plus. The sound quality on the Vudu is 10 times better. Right. Yet again, musicals in general, that's kind of going back to your whole music thing. That's one of those musicals that soundtrack is phenomenal. Yet again, I'm thinking orchestra. That's why I said Lord of the Rings. Yeah. But musicals, like in that sense, they did such a good job with that you want to own it instead of watching it on through Disney, because I feel like they're dumbing something down for streaming purposes. Yeah. And then like I want to see more and more of different platforms if they have that issue.
Yeah.
If they're skipping something, they do that with TV shows.
Yeah.
They'll cut TV shows out of certain things because it's not PC or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen that a lot. So basically, as we come to an end here, what's a couple movies that you're looking forward to that are coming out here soon?
Doomsday, of course. Avengers Doomsday is probably one of the biggest ones. You mentioned that one.
Yeah.
Spaceballs 2 is probably one of the next big ones I'm beyond excited for. At the moment, other than those two, probably Dune 3.
Dune 3.
I have, because of the last two movies, I read the book series.
Okay.
So I want to know, and they've diverted quite a bit from the books. So I really want to see how they finish this off. It should be really good. I think that Chalamet did a great job at his acting, and Zendaya, of course, is just phenomenal what she does. So I want to see how well that's going to work. I'm curious about the next Avatars. They're coming out really fast. Kind of weird. They went from, the first one to the second one, took them forever, 15 years. And all of a sudden now they're doing one every 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't get that whatsoever, but they kind of got to rush it now, it seems like. I feel like they're going to throw something out. 3 wasn't that great. So I'm hoping that 4 and 5 really pick up and finish strong.
Right.
Of course, Avengers Secret Wars is going to be good. The new Gollum movie is going to be really good this next year. That one I'm beyond looking forward to. Just as a massive Lord of the Rings fan.
About Acme and the Coyote and Roadrunner.
Acme looks really good. I saw the trailer for that when I went and watched the Odyssey, and that looks funny. As a big Looney Tunes fan back in the day, I really am excited to see.
I was.
This is shift.
Yeah.
This is not what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Space Jam back in the days, but this is its whole new thing. It's almost kind of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah. In a sense, we're like, no, they're in the same world. Yeah. So I'm really curious how they're going to do that. This is that realm of movies.
When I seen that same at the Odyssey, and I'm like, this is going to be awesome. I got to see that.
They're starting. I think since COVID is done with it, and that's a whole past behind us. Thank God. Yeah. Now they're coming out with all these movie ideas. It's coming out with some new movie ideas that are fresh that they've needed to do. The new Sonic, that's another one. Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm surprised Jim Carrey is keep going with these things. Right. So I'm curious how they're going to do, if he's going to be in the next one because of what happened in the last one.
So he is in 4. It's Internet Movie Database said he was in.
He was in it. Yeah. I don't know if it's just going to be, it could just be flashbacks for all you know. Yeah. I don't know how he got out of it. I want to know how he gets out of it.
Me too. All it shows is, like the preview that I've seen is just his voice, and it's a floating thing of Sonic. But it doesn't show anything. And I like that when a preview comes out and they hint at
something. Yeah. Hexed is another good one. New Disney one coming out, cartoon. I'm excited to see if maybe my son will like that one. I usually like those ones. Those are probably the top ones.
The End of Oak Street looked really cool.
That is, I think that's playing here in town now. Yeah. Little different concept, dinosaurs in a horror movie.
My sister tells me, she says, you need to see the preview to End of Oak Street. And I'm thinking to myself, End of Oak Street, scary movie. It's going to be. And then I see the preview to it and I'm like, whoa, I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, it's not quite, I wouldn't call it a horror necessarily, but it's like a monster movie. Yeah. A new age monster movie. I would like to see more of those for sure.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
And, what's Silent Place 3? That one I'm excited for. Right? That's what it's called.
What do you think they're going to do with this new Mummy with Brendan Fraser and all the original cast coming back?
Beyond excited about that. Brendan Fraser is amazing.
Me too.
I was glad to see him come back in The Whale. That was a whole different type of movie than I expected.
I was not when I first turned it on. I was not expecting.
No, the opening was not what I expected.
I did not expect that at all. But once again, the acting, the suit, and the portrayal of how he did that, was just phenomenal.
And the cost of it. It was super low budget. Yeah. And did it from just as an apartment building. Super cool. Yeah. Brendan Fraser is one of the GOATs for sure. Yeah. And so to see him with everybody else is going to be very exciting. Yeah. Yet again, I am a little worried about it because, I recently watched the other two, Mummy 2 and 3. And yet again, the whole CGI thing just really wasn't the great then. Now it's definitely way up on par compared to what it used to be.
What they're able to do.
So I'm curious how they're going to bring it back. Yeah. And what are you going to bring back the Mummy again somehow?
Because I can't pronounce his name. The guy who played
Imhotep.
He's in a lot of movies. He's a great actor. I don't know his name right at the moment. but he's coming back, and I'm thinking to myself, he's going to play emo tap. Like,
Hopefully.
how are you going to incorporate that? That's,
Yeah.
That's good writing. You have to have.
I'm hoping it's really good. Yeah. I'm worried the fact that they're hoping for that nostalgia factor to bring it back. I'm hoping they know that doing that isn't going to just tank it.
Right.
That they're just like, hey, this was a really good series. People really liked it. Let's try for one more to see if we can get a little more dough out of it.
Right.
I hope they just really did come up with a good story.
Did you hear the talks about the bringing back Macaulay Culkin for another Home Alone?
I heard a rumor about that too.
So I submitted just on like a post my synopsis, and I thought it would be cool if Macaulay Culkin, his character, fell on hard times because his parents are not around anymore, not rich.
Right.
And he's knocking off old folks' homes. And he runs into Harry and Marv in the old folks' home, and they put him through a little new...
That would be funny.
I think that would be a pretty cool little... So I kicked it out there just to see what somebody would say. I thought that would be kind of funny.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, that would be kind of funny. I could see...
Yeah, that would be...
I can see how that. He's turned around a lot.
Yeah,
Paul Culkin has definitely done
absolutely.
a 180 in life. I would love to see him in more.
I want to see him
movies.
Oh, what was it? Fallout, where he was. He was in there. He did a little cameo.
Good series. I think TV has done really well. I think the new TV shows that are coming out, especially a lot of video game ones, are starting to be made.
Right.
I think TV is definitely blowing up,
and it makes it hard because there's so many of them, and there's like so many to watch. It's like hard to keep up with them.
I have so many on my list right now, and I just can't keep up with them. And
there's a ton of them.
It's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I won't keep you too much longer.
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and edit there. Is there anything you want to say to anybody about your movie nuggets?
I have Dan's Movie Nuggets. I have on TikTok, Facebook Reels. Going to be doing my own YouTube. Trying to do just basic movie reviews, whatever I think. I don't like doing spoilers. But I am going to school right now for psychology, so I'm wanting to come up with a new way to create a venue so people can, who are struggling, I can pick a movie for them to watch to maybe help them out in the future. So be on the lookout for some of those movies. Those probably will have spoilers to help you kind of pick out that movie, of course, a little bit more, so it's a little more detailed.
Absolutely. And if you guys want to see more of us communicating about some movies, or see more of this, or you want us to talk about certain movies, put it in the comments. We'll go ahead and jump on here and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
And my nephew actually created an app. It's called Family Sense. I'll try to tag it in the comments. I'll put a link down there, and it basically just goes through and tells you where there's swear words, where there's nudity, everything there is to know about movies in case you want to take the kids to them and stuff. It's pretty cool. So I'll get that on there, and this will be up later, hopefully on all my socials, and I'll share it to you, and that way you can put it out there.
Perfect.
On most of the TikTok and stuff, it might just be tidbits and stuff, so that way they can check out slower versions of it. And if they want to see the whole thing, they can get on YouTube and check it out.
Love it.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Robert.
Awesome.